Tasya Namajan Shalaka Chaksharam Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manokrishna Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Bhutakatamahim Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahakana Raghunathanukam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakham Padam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Srimad Bhakti Sugarit Parivrajak Maharaj and other eminent personalities on the stage, and ladies and gentlemen in the audience. It is a great privilege and honor for me to be amongst all of you on the auspicious occasion of this two-day seminar on universal brotherhood in the context of Srimad Gauranga Mahaprabhu's contributions to the world. I feel honored to be part of these deliberations here. The specific topic I have been requested to speak on is Mahaprabhu Chaitanya and his relevance in today's world. It is not a matter of debate or doubt that our world today is a very troubled world. We are indeed living in troubled times. And this is not surprising because, after all, we are living in the age that is called Kali Yuga. The word Kali comes from the word Kalaha, which means quarrel. So this is the age of quarrel, vice, hypocrisy, and so on. Everywhere we look around us, we see suffering, quarrel, anxiety, difficulty. When we open the newspaper, it is only full of bad news. There is hardly anything to cheer us in this day and age. In the midst of this very bleak scenario, perhaps there is scope to become disheartened and discouraged about the future of this world. Despite this, however, there is one saving grace, and that has been mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Kalo dosha vidhe rajan asti ek mahan guna kirtanad eva krishnasya mokta sangha param praje. The Srimad Bhagavatam says that in this age of Kali, one can only see faults. Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Nevertheless, there is one very important quality which is the saving grace and which actually counteracts all the other negative influences of Kali Yuga. This is actually the ornament of Kali Yuga. And that is the chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna. Kirtanad eva Krishnasya mukta sangha param praje. By chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna, one can be liberated from this material existence and go to the spiritual world, to Lord Krishna's eternal abode. So even though there are many bad qualities that we can see that characterize this age of Kali, nevertheless, there's one good quality that simply by chanting the names of Lord Krishna one can overcome all negativities, is indeed a source of great encouragement and hope to all the people who are suffering under the effects of this age of Kali. Of course, the Srimad Bhagavatam in numerous places has described how the holy name of the Lord is such a potent influence in our lives. In these troubled times, where people are losing hope and where the negative aspect of people's natures are emerging in a very powerful way, the presence, the contribution and the role of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his movement is more important than ever. Srimad Mahaprabhu's contribution to this world is a contribution of divine love. This love is not the ordinary so-called love of this world. Generally in this world, we understand that what people commonly call as love is not truly love, because there is selfishness associated with it. There is inebriety associated with it. Eventually, all such love results in despondency and in grief. But the love that Srimad Mahaprabhu had come to disseminate all through the world is love of a different kind. The difference between the love that Mahaprabhu had come to share with everybody and the love of this world has been compared to the difference between gold and iron. So the love that Mahaprabhu has come to share with us is a priceless jewel, a transcendental diamond. And this love Mahaprabhu has proclaimed is actually the ultimate goal of our life. Prema Pumartho Mahan. It is the utmost necessity of this world. We understand from Srimad Mahaprabhu's teachings that as spiritual entities, our ultimate necessity, our ultimate dharma, so to speak, is love. It is love of the Supreme Godhead. And this is the only thing that can actually satisfy one and keep us happy. No other process, no other activity can actually make us happy, because by nature we are spiritual beings. Therefore the Bhagavatam has declared, Svai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yado Bhakti Rasamrita Swami, that the topmost dharma for all humanity is that by which loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Adhokshaja, another name for Lord Krishna, can be revived. And when such service or seva is done with devotion, it is done without expectation of any material rewards, and it is done without interruption, then it can completely satisfy our soul. And all negativities, all the unwanted things in the heart that are creating so many difficulties in our world will be extinguished. So this love that Srimad Mahaprabhu has come to give to the world is the absolute necessity. It is our very nature. Mahaprabhu has not come to give us something that is alien to our nature. And in this day and age, where the process of Kali Yuga is progressing at a very rapid pace, Mahaprabhu's teachings can work like a soothing balm to heal the wounds of our modern society. Our modern society is plagued with so many ills, so many misunderstandings, so much hatred, violence, and so many other things. This path of divine love that Mahaprabhu has come to give is the real medicine for everyone. When Srimad Mahaprabhu says, Prema Pumartho Mahan, that this is the ultimate necessity for all humanity, he means to say that this is the objective for which we should always be striving. This is the standard for our success. So for the people of this age of iron, Kali Yuga, Mahaprabhu has given us the true standard of happiness and achievement. Generally, the Vedic literatures speak about 4 purusharthas or 4 objectives: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma refers to ordinary religiosity, artha refers to economic development, kama refers to worldly enjoyment, and moksha refers to liberation. Generally, even for those who are somewhat religious, their goals extend only to these 4, mostly to the first 3, and very few will attempt something in the direction of moving towards moksha. But Srimad Mahaprabhu's teaching is that apart from these 4 purusharthas, there is a 5th purushartha, panchama purushartha, and that is bhakti. This path of love is also called the path of bhakti. Yato bhakti adhokshaye. So Srimad Mahaprabhu has established very firmly this one important principle, that this love of Godhead, this bhakti, is what we need to strive for. This is the ultimate goal, the ultimate necessity, and the ultimate solution to all our problems. Not only has Srimad Mahaprabhu established that this is the prime need of the society, love of God, but he has also given us the process by which this love of Godhead can be attained, which I will discuss in a few moments. And furthermore, he has by his own personal example demonstrated how this love of Godhead can be achieved. So Srimad Mahaprabhu has done these 3 very important things for us. Number 1, to establish the principle of divine love as the most important necessity for the troubled people of this age. Number 2, to give us the process, that is the chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna. And number 3, by adventing himself here and personally demonstrating how such a thing can be achieved. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not just an ordinary saint. He is not even a great saint. Hindi or Bengali also? Okay. And अच्छा, थोड़ा बहुत हम हिंदी में भी कहने का प्रयास करेंगे। तो श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु यहाँ हम सबको भगवान के शुद्ध प्रेम में भक्ति देने के लिए प्रकट हुए हैं, और उनकी भक्ति के आंदोलन ये श्रीमद् भागवत और हमारे वैदिक शास्त्रों पर आधारित है। Srimad Mahaprabhu, as I was mentioning, is not just an ordinary saint or even just a great saint. We understand him to be directly the self-same Lord Krishna himself. हम शास्त्रों के आधार पर जानते हैं कि श्रीमद् महाप्रभु केवल एक महान संत नहीं है, परंतु वो तो साक्षात भगवान कृष्ण ही है, जो कि हमें दिखलाने आए हैं अपने कार्यों से कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण की भक्ति कैसे की जाती है। तो श्रीमद् महाप्रभु is the Yuga avatar. Every Yuga, the 4 Yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, has an avatar. The Lord descends to actually explain and inaugurate the particular dharma for that age by which God realization may take place. हर एक युग में भगवान एक युग अवतार के रूप में प्रकट होते हैं, उस युग के धर्म के प्रचार प्रसार और उद्घाटन करने के लिए। तो श्रीमद् महाप्रभु जो कि स्वयं श्री कृष्ण है, वो अभी प्रकट हुए हैं इस कलयुग में केवल 525 वर्ष पूर्व, इस कलयुग के युग धर्म का उद्घाटन करने के लिए। So Srimad Mahaprabhu therefore is so relevant for the people of Kali Yuga because he is the Supreme Lord himself come to teach us how to deliver ourselves in this age of Kali. As we have heard in a nice documentary film that we saw earlier, that in this age, the Yuga Dharma is the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Kriteya dhyayato Vishnu pretayam vishomahai dvapare paricharyayam kalo tad hari kirtanat. In Satya Yuga, what was possible by meditation in solitary places. In Treta Yuga, what was possible by performing elaborate sacrifices. In Dwapar Yuga, what was possible by opulent worship of the deities in the temple is now possible in Kali Yuga, merely by faithfully and devotionally, congregationally chanting the names of Lord Krishna. That same Lord Hari, Tad Hari Kirtanat, he has come to do his own kirtan, to teach us and to teach the people of this age, Kali Yuga, how to perfect their lives. So what can be of greater relevance than Mahaprabhu's role in the world today? Actually, many of our scriptures, our Vedic scriptures, have many statements about the glories of the chanting of the names of Lord Hari or Lord Krishna. अनेक जगह हमारे वैदिक शास्त्रों में भगवान के पवित्र नामों के कीर्तन की महिमा का वर्णन पाया जाता है. But we find that not until Srimad Mahaprabhu came that the process of congregational chanting of the holy names was highlighted and emphasized to such a degree that Mahaprabhu brought out the essential features of the scriptures and focused on the conclusion of the scripture, that in this age of Kali, there is no other way except chanting the name of Lord Hari. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyatha. So it is Srimad Mahaprabhu who, for the benefit of the world, for the benefit of the people of this fallen age of Kali, has emphasized so strongly that the only means for deliverance for all people is the congregational chanting of the names of Lord Hari. यद्यपि शास्त्रों में कई जगह भगवान के पवित्र नामों का वर्णन है, फिर भी श्रीमद् महाप्रभु ही थे जिन्होंने कि इतने जोर से, इतनी निष्ठा से और दृढ़ता से इस बात को स्पष्ट किया कि हरिनाम संकीर्तन के अलावा अन्य कोई भी रास्ता भगवत साक्षात्कार के लिए और जीवन की परिपूर्णता के प्राप्ति के लिए नहीं है. और श्रीमद् महाप्रभु स्वयं जब प्रकट हुए, एक भक्त के रूप में उन्होंने अपनी ही भक्ति करके सारी दुनिया को दिखाया कि भक्ति कैसे की जानी चाहिए. So Srimad Mahaprabhu is teaching by his own example, following his own proclamation in the Bhagavad Gita that yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat evetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastatan vartate. So Mahaprabhu, who is the Lord himself, has come to teach us. And we should not think that because he was practicing or apparently practicing like a devotee or a saint, that he is also just merely a saint. The example may be given that a mother may teach a child how to write the alphabets. And in order to teach the child, the mother may actually write the alphabets with her own hands. Somebody looking at the mother may think that she is also learning how to write the alphabets. But that is not so. She is writing the alphabets just to teach the child how to do so. In the same way, Srimad Mahaprabhu is directly the Supreme Lord, but he is performing his own bhakti by the congregational chanting of the holy names simply to teach us how to do so. So this is the importance of Srimad Mahaprabhu's contribution here. And as the Yuga Avatar, he has not only established the process by which we can attain this most priceless jewel of love of Godhead, but even on the platform of theology and philosophy, he has established many, many important conclusions. Generally, we see that Hinduism, in the popular conception, is somewhat confused. Many people think Hinduism is a polytheistic or a pantheistic kind of a religion. The Vedic scriptures speak of numerous worshipable gods, and there is much confusion in the minds of the people at large about what actually the conclusions of the Shastra are. Vedic शास्त्रों में अनेक ऐसे उपासनों का वर्णन है, अनेक देवताओं का वर्णन है, इसलिए समाज में तरह तरह की भ्रांतियां हैं कि हमारे लिए आराध्य कौन है, किनकी उपासना हमें वास्तव में करनी चाहिए। महाप्रभु ने स्पष्टीकरण कराया है इस बात का। Mahaprabhu has established the monotheistic Sanatana Dharma Vedic tradition and removed misconceptions that the Sanatana Dharma is actually a polytheistic tradition. And he also established this in a very non-sectarian way, that the supreme absolute truth is one without a second. The supreme absolute truth is not to be considered in terms of narrow parochial understandings of one's particular religious faith. By Mahaprabhu's teachings we can understand as clear as daylight something so simple and sublime, but yet something which is not understood by even advanced religionists in the world today. And that is that the supreme absolute truth is one and one only. There is no question of the supreme absolute truth being Hindu or Muslim or Christian or Jain or Sikh and so on. There is no question of the supreme absolute truth being Indian or some other nationality. The Lord is beyond all these conceptions. The Supreme Lord is one and unique in his unparalleled position. He is the worshipable object for all living entities in the entire creation. The fact that he is called Krishna does not make him a sectarian god. Mahaprabhu has explained very nicely the meanings of the word Hari and Krishna. Of course, we will not get into that in detail now, but suffice it to say that he has established that that supreme absolute truth, who is one without a second, is the all-attractive Sri Krishna. He is the all-attractive object for people of all faiths, of all traditions, of all castes and creeds and communities and so on. He is the one object of our love. By reposing our affection in whom, we will find the complete satisfaction, happiness, and so on. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has concluded his teachings by saying, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharam vraja, aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of dharma and simply surrender to me alone. I will free you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So Lord Krishna's conclusion here is very important because through this verse, he is establishing the ultimate dharma or paradharma. When he talks of sarva dharman parityajya, he is saying that give up all dharmas apart from this paradharma. And the paradharma, which I have referred to earlier from the Srimad Bhagavatam shloka, is that we have to surrender utterly to Lord Krishna. Because he is that samam bonam. He is that one supreme absolute truth without a second. So because there was much confusion in different translations, editions and commentators of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Mahaprabhu has established for the welfare of the world, for the confused people of this age, a very clear theological doctrine based on Bhagavad Gita. And he has demonstrated to the world that it is this one Supreme Personality to whom we must surrender. And of course, in giving emphasis to this, he has also elaborated on the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which are a further continuation of the Bhagavad Gita. भगवद गीता में वैसे सारा उपदेश देने के पश्चात अंतिम श्लोकों में भगवान श्री कृष्ण अर्जुन से ये उपदेश करते हैं कि हे अर्जुन, समस्त धर्मों को त्याग कर केवल मेरे शरण में आओ, मैं तुम्हें समस्त पापों से मुक्त कर दूंगा, डरो नहीं। इसका मतलब ये है कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण कह रहे हैं कि उनकी शरण ग्रहण करने के सिवाय अन्य जितने भी धर्म हैं वो निम्न श्रेणी के धर्म हैं, और उनका शरण स्वीकार करना, उनकी प्रेमा भक्ति के पथ को स्वीकार करना, यही परधर्म है, सर्वश्रेष्ठ धर्म है, और इसी का पालन हर एक व्यक्ति को करना चाहिए। तो श्रीमद् महाप्रभु ने भगवान श्री कृष्ण की अद्वितीयता को इस तरह से स्पष्टता से, दृढ़ता से स्थापित किया ताकि इस कलयुग के लोगों के लिए कोई भ्रांति न हो, कोई गुमराह न करे। और ये भगवान श्री कृष्ण एक हैं, ये केवल हिंदू भगवान नहीं है, भारतीय भगवान नहीं है, ये सबके प्रभु हैं, सबके स्वामी हैं। इसमें कोई देश भेद नहीं, कोई जाति भेद नहीं, कोई धर्म भेद नहीं है। तो इस तरह से इस मूल दार्शनिक तत्व को श्रीमद् महाप्रभु ने कलयुग के लोगों के लिए स्पष्टता से स्थापित किया। It has been explained. आराध्य भगवान ब्रजेश तनयस्तद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्याकाशित उपासना ब्रजवधू वर्गेण या कल्पिता। आराध्य भगवान ब्रजेश तनय। So Srimad Mahaprabhu has clarified that the ultimate object of our worship is Sri Krishna. Which Sri Krishna, who is the son of Maharaj Nanda, and he resides in Vrindavan. And the topmost worshippers of the Supreme Lord are the milkmaids, the gopis of Vrindavan. Ramya Kajit Upasana Brajavadhu Vargena Yakalpita. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamanam Premapumartho Mahan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatrada Natparaha. And the evidence for stating this is the Srimad Bhagavatam, which Mahaprabhu has considered the topmost evidence, the topmost scripture for this age of Kali. And based on the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahaprabhu has taught that this love of Godhead as practiced by the residents of Vrindavan towards Lord Krishna is the highest goal of life, the prime necessity of life for all people. And this is the essence of Mahaprabhu's teachings. Actually, the Srimad Bhagavatam is the grantha or the scripture for this age. श्रीमद् महाप्रभु ने साबित किया है श्रीमद् भागवत ग्रंथ के आधार पर कि श्री कृष्ण ही, विशेष करके वो श्री कृष्ण जो नंद महाराज के पुत्र हैं और जो वृंदावन में निवास करते हैं, वो हमारे आराध्य हैं। और ब्रजवासीगण, विशेष करके ब्रज की गोपियां, ये वृंदावन या कृष्ण के सर्वश्रेष्ठ भक्त हैं। तो श्रीमद् भागवत ये वास्तव में कलयुग के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण ग्रंथ है। In the Srimad Bhagavad itself, we hear the sages at Naimisharanya are concerned that now that Sri Krishna has departed for his abode, who will guide the world, who will establish the principles of dharma, and so on. And the reply given by Sutta Goswami is very clear. Krishna svadhama upagate dharma jnana adhivi saha kalo nashta drishamesha purana kodhumuditaha. In this age, the people of Kali are spiritually blind. Kalo nashta drisham. Esha, so people who are spiritually blind in our age, Purana, Arkaha, Adhuna, Uditaha. So this Srimad Bhagavatam has arisen like the sun to destroy all the darkness of the people of our modern times of Kali Yuga, to give us light about what is dharma, about what is happiness, what is true love, who is the Godhead. This is Mahaprabhu's contribution because he is the one who has made the Srimad Bhagavat available to the whole world through his teachings and example. And not only that, Mahaprabhu's associates and his pastimes in Jagannath Puri, in Navadvip, and so on, are examples to all of us about how we can practically achieve that love which is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Bhagavad Gita concludes with the principle of surrender to Lord Krishna as the ultimate goal. भगवद गीता का सार या निष्कर्ष यही है कि हमें भगवान श्री कृष्ण के शरण को ग्रहण करना चाहिए. Srimad Bhagavatam begins from the point of this surrender and then goes on to explain the lives of great devotees and ultimately speaking about the love of the devotees of Vrindavan for Krishna, and establishes that the love of the residents of Vrindavan for Krishna, especially the love of the gopis, is the highest love. So this is the conclusion of the Srimad Bhagavatam. तो श्रीमद् भागवतम की शुरुआत वहीं से होती है जहां की श्रीमद् भगवद गीता का संदेश समाप्त होता है. श्रीमद् भागवत का निष्कर्ष, अंतिम निष्कर्ष ये है कि वृंदावन के निवासियों, विशेष करके गोपियों का जो प्रेम है भगवान श्री कृष्ण के प्रति, जो शुद्ध भक्ति है, वही हमारे लिए सर्वश्रेष्ठ उद्देश्य है. तो श्रीमद् भागवत का निष्कर्ष यहाँ है. And when Srimad Bhagavatam leaves, scriptures like the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which speak about the life and teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they begin. How to practically apply the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavatam in our life, that is demonstrated by Mahaprabhu with his associates when he appeared 525 years ago. In other words, what may have appeared to be some theoretical things given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam were practically demonstrated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates when he descended here. In other words, the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a scripture for this age, for the people of Kali who are suffering due to want of spiritual vision, comes alive through the life, teachings and the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we study books like the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and so on, then we get inspiration, guidance and realization about how we may, in this day and age, also practice Harinam Sankirtan to attain that exalted stage of Prema Bhakti, which is the ultimate goal of our life. Another special contribution of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that he has made the process very simple And he has not considered the question of qualification or disqualification or the eligibility or lack of it of candidates for spiritual progress in this age. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna placed an important condition for deliverance, that we must surrender to Him. Only when we surrender to Lord Krishna, then we will be delivered. भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने भगवद गीता में एक शर्त रखा है हमारे उद्धार के लिए कि हमें उनका शरण ग्रहण करना चाहिए. यदि भगवान का शरण नहीं ग्रहण करेंगे तो हमारा उद्धार नहीं हो सकता है. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has not considered any qualifications or eligibility. He has profusely, most magnanimously, freely distributed this Krishna Prema, this ultimate solution to all our problems, the ultimate love and happiness for which the living entity has been seeking for time immemorial. Mahaprabhu has distributed this freely, without consideration of caste, creed, eligibility, and so on, through the process of chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna. This is such a great boon for the people of this age. This is his importance and relevance for today's people. Simply by following the teachings of Mahaprabhu and his associates, very easily one can also attain Krishna Prema. At the sociological angle, Mahaprabhu's contributions have been equally path-breaking. We see that formally the Indian society, and particularly the Hindu society, had been afflicted by many rigidities of what came to be called as the caste system. The original pure Devi Varnashram system was pervertedly reflected in the modern day society in ignorance as a caste system. And that has created so many types of discrimination and injustices. And therefore many people in the world today speak unfavorably of Vedic culture because of what they see today in the caste system. But Mahaprabhu has established that the path of Krishna Bhakti goes beyond all these designations. In Mahaprabhu's movement, there is no consideration of caste, creed, gender, nationality, or anything. No material designation is an impediment in this process. Anyone from any background, materially, so long as that person is sincere and is seeking to perfect his or her life, is welcome to participate in this movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So much so that he has proclaimed that anybody can even become a Vaishnava Guru for the whole world, path-breaking a revolutionary message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For the people of Kali Yuga, who are always at quarrel with each other on the basis of caste, creed, nationality, and other very narrow considerations, Mahaprabhu has given the people of our age a universal movement for unifying everybody in love, not in hatred, not on the basis of any material discrimination, but on the basis of spiritual oneness, accepting the process of divine love for Lord Shri Krishna as the ultimate goal. We are indeed fortunate that Mahaprabhu has left behind many, many followers, and today there are many institutions, many organizations that are propagating and practicing the method taught by Srimad Mahaprabhu in this age. And it is a wonderful phenomenon that today we find many organizations coming together like this, like today's function. And it is a source of great happiness to me that I have been able to participate in some small way in this function. I would like to wish the authorities and the devotees of the Gaudiya mission very well for this very noble endeavor, for having brought together people from different walks of life, those who may be following Mahaprabhu, those who may not be following Mahaprabhu, but either way, all will appreciate Mahaprabhu's contributions. And with such a cooperative spirit that can facilitate dissemination of Mahaprabhu's teachings all over the world for the benefit of everyone. I would like to place on record my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the organizers of this wonderful seminar, two-day seminar, and I'm grateful that you have considered me worthy to be here in your midst, although there are many elevated souls sitting here and also elsewhere. I would like to thank you for having borne with this speaker for the last half an hour or 40 minutes. My best wishes, and I seek the blessings of all the exalted souls here, so that personally also one will make advancement. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.